If you received the March speaker email, welcome back. If you are a new speaker edition, welcome. I'm Tamsen Webster, and I'm working with CMI to produce this monthly video series for you, the Content Marketing World 2018 speakers. You can find these videos on CM World's blog and on the CMI YouTube page. Last time we talked about the context for your talk, who it's for, what you want them to do, and what you want them to know. This time we're going to talk about the fundamental concepts for your talk. What is it that people need to hear before they will make the change that you want them to make, before they will do that thing? Well, let's say that the thing that you want them to do is adopt a content marketing quality assurance process, a way to safeguard the quality of their content marketing's content. Now, the first thing we need to figure out is, well, what is it that they want that process will help them get? Now, they probably aren't necessarily looking for a process, but they could, for instance, be looking for how to make sure they get better quality leads out of their content marketing. So that's a goal that they would readily agree that they want. And that goal, the audience's goal, is the first concept to identify for your talk. What is something the audience will get that they readily agree that they want as a result of your talk? The second concept to find for your talk is the problem that stands in the way of the goal. Now, this can be something that they recognize as a problem, but it can also be something that they can't quite see, a problem of incomplete perspective. So, for instance, in this context of our example, it could be that they are focusing so much on the quality of the channels, on being in the right place, that they're ignoring that what they're putting in those places isn't very good. Now, that starts to create some curiosity about, well, what do I do about that? But we don't yet want to introduce them to our change. The third concept that we want to put in front of them is an idea that makes that problem impossible to ignore. Best way to think about this is as an incontrovertible truth, something that people would, again, readily agree with. But it needs to be something that makes that problem really uncomfortable for them. So, for instance, in our example, let's say that we presented the idea that the quality of output depends on the quality of input. Now, you see that's something that people would readily agree with. But in the context of what they want, quality leads, and in context of the problem, that they're focusing on the quality of their channels rather than the quality of the content, it becomes really hard to ignore that content now. Because if they got bad content coming in, that probably explains why they have bad leads coming out. So now that they're willing to at least shift their perspective on how they've been looking at the situation, now they're ready to hear your change, which is the fourth concept to find in your talk, that thing that you want them to do. Good news is you probably already figured this out if you figured out the context that we talked about in the last episode. It's the high-level shift in thinking or behavior. The fifth thing to figure out for your talk are the specific actions that people can take. So we've got goal, problem, idea, change, actions. Those actions are what the audience can go and do to make sure that that change that you're looking for happens. Maybe it's the step in your process, maybe it's some criteria that need to be in place, but whatever it is, it's what will make that change concrete. Once you have those 5 concepts, you have the starting slides for your deck. You have the 5 key things that the audience needs to hear. And from there, we're just going to figure out how do we fill in the gaps in between. And that, filling in the gaps in between, figuring out the outline for your talk, is what we're going to talk about next time. If you have more questions about those 5 key concepts, go to tamsenwebster.com/blog and watch episodes 53 to 58, where I give a bit of a mini course on each of those individual concepts. Any other questions, reach out to me at tamsenwebster.com/contact or on Twitter at @tamadeer. Talk to you next time.